My name is Israel. Join News Prime comes to you live from the multimedia studios at Kokomlemle here in Accra with digital address GA099-2539. It is also available across Europe via ABN television. And on to our very first story. Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu says his office is set to begin the investigation of cases that have come before it once it receives its budgetary allocation. The governing board of the Office of the Special Prosecutor was inaugurated by President Akufo-Addo on Thursday, thereby completing the establishment of the anti-corruption body. Mr. Amidu, after conducting members of the board around his office, however, cautioned they cannot investigate hearsay and asked those calling for the prosecution of particular cases to get more knowledge on them.
Every petition that has come to this office since I assumed office on the 26th of February 2018 has responded to. But there are so many people who just read the news and this fellow said this, investigated. If you don't have personal knowledge and you are, this office should investigate hearsay. This office cannot investigate hearsay. So petitioners must be people who have personal knowledge of the facts. And no, you can't have resources to prosecute everybody who commits crime. So you make sure that you prosecute only the very serious ones so that it can deter people from continuing to commit crime. Because you have to look at the resources you are spending and then the other areas. So we will prosecute serious corruption offenses. The less serious ones, we will maybe agree to reparations and other things. So the public should not be too emotional and just give the office time. And I can assure them that under our watch, nobody is going to interfere with our work. We will be as independent as possible, subject only to the law, the rule of law, and due process. We will treat crime, as I've always said, regardless of party, political consideration, whatever association, ethnic affiliation, crime will be crime. If you go back to my 9-hour vetting, quoted very senior prosecutors and things who have given guidelines as to what we must do.
Witness protection, is your office involved? Would your office be involved?
We are yet starting up. Okay. We have investigations of prosecutors. So we haven't got to the time where we will go into the nitty-gritty. In fact, what we are even expecting now is money to start with.
In a related development, President Akufo-Addo has assured the Special Prosecutor will receive the needed funds to operate. Swearing in the governing board of the OSP on Thursday, he urged its 9 members to work to ensure the independence of the office in line with the law that set it up. The board is expected to help in the formulation of policies and direction of the affairs of the office. There's more in the following news desk report.
Do in the name of the Almighty thou swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty thou swear. The membership drawn from the police, the Economic and Organized Crime Office, the Attorney General's Department, the Auditor General's Department, Anti-Corruption Coalition and others have the ultimate task of ensuring the Special Prosecutor operates with due regard to the rule of law and lay down procedure in carrying out prosecution of public and private individuals found culpable of misappropriating public funds. Inaugurating the board, President Akufo-Addo said he is hopeful the public sector will sanitize the country with work of the Special Prosecutor.
The responsibility is on you to ensure that the public life of our country is sanitized, are considerable. But I'm confident that the quality of people that have been assembled on this board, beginning of course with the Special Prosecutor himself and his deputy and the other members of the board, are such as to give confidence that this very difficult assignment is one that is going to be undertaken in all seriousness, will be done without fear or favor, ill will or malice.
President Akufo-Addo has also assured budgets of the Office of a Special Prosecutor will be met by the Finance Minister.
The one institution that is not represented on your board perhaps may be the most important. That is the Minister of Finance. maybe the Parliament was overlooked the necessity for him to be represented, because resourcing your office is very much more his function than it is mine. But believe me, you will have my support in making sure that the Minister of Finance implements your budget, and if necessary finds ways to mobilize additional resources for you to be able to do your work well.
The board is expected to meet and elect among them a chairperson. Representative of anti-corruption civil society organizations, Linda Ofuekwafo, pledged their cooperation to the fight against corruption.
We assure you of our unflinching commitments and dedication to discharge our obligations as stipulated under Section 6.1 of the OSP Act 2017, Act 959, in the supreme interest of our beloved country, Ghana, God being our help.
The Special Prosecutor's Office has already begun work with Martin Amidu teaming up with the Auditor General Daniel Domelevo to clamp down on payroll fraud.
The government could soon begin criminal prosecution of former Ghana Football Association President Kwesi Nyantakyi. That's according to Deputy Attorney General Godfrey Dame, who says the AG's department is awaiting conclusion of an ongoing probe into alleged bribery in Ghana football. Lawyer for the GFA, Thaddeus Sorry, in open court Thursday, questioned why the AG's department was not focusing on initiating criminal proceedings against such officials, but rather seeking to have the local football governing body dissolved. But the Deputy AG says any action by the state will be informed by the police probe. He has been speaking with Joy News, and we'll bring you that interview in a bit. But here's what transpired in court on Thursday.
Today sets a very remarkable tone in the whole process. The court has appointed the register of companies to exercise their powers under the Liquidation Act, and to me it's very significant. It shows that, well, very serious issues have been raised before the court, and the assets of the GFA can be safeguarded from any unnecessary dissipation.
The concern by the lawyer for the GFA is that, I mean, in this unusual instance, you are not prosecuting as you've done in other investigations that a journalist has carried out. Are we to understand that you are doing something, or you are simply not prosecuting?
No, not at all. I mean, but you see, but he loses the point. The point is that in the course of this civil action that we have filed, we can actually take steps to ensure the allegations of crime are dealt with by the court. So the court has the power to consider the allegations of crime that we have made against the GFA, even in these proceedings. The allegations of crime can be established within the premises of this action. So I think that he has missed the point entirely.
But are you undertaking some criminal investigations hoping to prosecute?
Yes. Criminal investigations indeed have been undertaken. Kwesi Nyantakyi and other executive committee members report to the Ghana Police Service all the time. They are still conducting their own investigations. So I don't think it is appropriate for us to say that no criminal action whatsoever will be taken against them.
So we had Deputy AG Godfrey Dame speaking there about criminal proceedings, investigations underway against the former GFA president Kwesi Nyantakyi. Let's now look at what transpired in court today. So the High Court has continued the injunction of the GFA officials. So the GFA has become an obscene emblem of scandal, corruption and illegal enterprise. That's the AG's case for the injunction. And says the GFA has also become an instrument for self-aggrandizement by people who run it to make themselves rich. This is not limited to subscribers and directors. The GFA, the AG maintains, has lost its image. It continues that a refusal of the application against the GFA will lead to greater hardship for the state. Says the GFA has undermined its existence, and therefore in the interest of protecting the national interest, it is the duty of the AG to take urgent measures to stop this. Now, the GFA's response is that it is not all of GFA's duties which are discharged, that are in the public interest. GFA's main focus, insofar as its duties are concerned, its members. It continues that the GFA's members are private persons who, in the exercise of the fundamental right to associate, have come together to promote their common interest. And that the so-called announced video known as documentary number 12 only presents to the public information about the interactions recorded in the edited video, but not evidence that GFA or any of its subscribers, directors and officers are guilty of any corrupt acts. And that the petition has no merit and should be accordingly dismissed. So, well, the court decided that the case against the GFA is not frivolous. And so Justice Kwame Esiedu granted an injunction restraining all officials of the GFA from holding themselves out as such. The Registrar of Companies has been appointed as official liquidator to take over assets of the Ghana Football Association. You're watching Joy News when we're taking a break, but still ahead in the bulletin. President Akufo-Addo promises special honors for eminent statesman JH Mensah, who died Thursday morning at the 37 Military Hospital a few months to his 90th birthday. Members of Parliament have also been eulogizing the departed statesman. Would have that story and more coming up after the break. Stay tuned. President Akufo-Addo has promised to duly honor the late statesman JH Mensah, who died early Thursday morning at the 37 Military Hospital after suffering some ailment. Describing the departed seasoned politician as a mentor, the president noted that though he was saddened by the news, he will, in his capacity, especially honor the late JH Mensah. Nancy Emefajura-Dozie visited the home of the late statesman and now reports.
The late JH Mensah was born on October 30, 1928. He was also the senior minister under President John Ejekun Kufuor's government in 2001. In 1961, he headed the National Planning Commission. Under his leadership, the commission drew up and implemented the 7-year development plan from 1962 to 1969. Later in 1969, he was elected to Parliament and became the Minister of Finance until 1972. In December 1996, JH Mensah successfully contested for a parliamentary seat in the Sunyani East District on the ticket of the NPP and served as the minority leader in Parliament. He was re-elected in 2000 when the NPP assumed the mantle of governance after over 3 decades in opposition. The seasoned politician was said to be battling some ailment until he passed on Thursday morning at the 37 Military Hospital. President Akufo-Addo, who visited the family in Accra, described the late statesman as a mentor and pledged to honor him.
Deputy Chief of Staff, Nababo Mamane, said the Abene, I'm saying the size of the Bifia, na Bichiamo, and Mamu said, the Atumi, come back. To one extent, so paying a bread to do. I feel trembling. My hospital work with or bread to do. So, never dream fancy being a coupon and why now. In India, I have friends so many. No making a home. Now, all call the solo. When they do the cheat, they can't be papa. Jabana Bani said, Ghana could not say so. Ghana bedroom, I mean, I'm it is what it's a maybe be so called additional so.
Nephew of JH Mensah, PK Mensah, described the statesman also as a deep thinker.
I can tell you, in this family, if you take away God, he was everything. It was everything. From the older ones to the very young ones, everybody had a time and a word with him. He brought joy to everybody. He gave us leadership. He gave us a good image. And he never had a bad word for anybody. He was something good. He was a deep thinker. And you were sure if you went to him with a problem that had to be thought through, that was the place to go.
JH Mensah would have in 3 months turned 90 on October 30.
The Speaker of Parliament also led the leadership of the House to commiserate with the family of the late JH Mensah. Professor Aaron Michael Quay said the demise of JH Mensah is a big loss to the nation that can never be replaced. He further described him as a voluminous reader.
He was a voluminous reader, a document that would take the average person a week to read. Senior man JH Mensah will read it all within a couple of days. And we benefited from that tremendous knowledge when we were doing deregulation when I was Minister of Energy. Apart from that exercise and also all those rationalization processes, the oil policy which brought a new change which led to GMPC, for example, concentrating on East Core mandate and other reforms that President Kufuor wanted and which were translated into policy with his assistance. All these led to a lot of things which may not have been available but for his contribution. He was a gem and we have had a big loss. But well, definitely at 90 years, he deserves to go and rest in the bosom of the Almighty.
Both leaders of the House pledged their commitment to fully honor the veteran politician when the time is due, because he walked a tightrope that clearly had a distinction on when to be patriotic and when to be partisan.
And if there's one man to celebrate in the history of this country, in contemporary times, certainly it must be Joseph Henry Mensah, affectionately referred to as JH Mensah. This man truly is a colossus because he had stranded out the issues and was more or less coaching the legal brains within us on points of law. And nobody could imagine that, as Shakespeare said, all the elements were so much well mixed up in him that nature itself will stand by and acknowledge that this indeed was a man.
He was an illumination of academic finesse in terms of his contribution to debate on national issues. And therefore, as I have said, we are here with Right Honorable Speaker Professor Mike Oquay to grieve with you and to accept that it's a national loss. Indeed, the state of Ghana is the loser. And it is not because we are here. Indeed, myself and the leader on one of our foreign trips recently was discussing how to honor persons who have made their mark serving the Parliament of Ghana. And as I recall, the leader said to me, Haruna, Justice D.F. Annan, JH Mensah, JH Osua Champong, and Peter Alajete were the words that consensually were immediate to recognize, including the present leadership. So I'm sure as and when it's appropriate for Parliament to mark his life to eternity in terms of what he cherished most, which was the finesse of debate. I think that would be a better and a proper way to recognize him.
We're taking a break here on Joy News Prime, but still ahead in the bulletin. A 10-year-old boy is nursing serious injuries after his stepfather threw him into a septic tank for allegedly snitching on him. And also to come, the Joy 2018 Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair kicks off at the Accra International Conference Center with a mock groom for this year's event, a little too eager to tie the knot.
Do take thee. Mapizzo, Sechama to be. That qualification is very important. To be my unlawful wedded wife. Please, a special emphasis on unlawful wedded wife.
Business news, isn't it?
With you again on business. Now, GCB Bank has committed 1 billion Ghana cedis towards the One District, One Factory initiative by government. About 270 clients have already put in their applications for support. Head of SMEs and the One District, One Factory unit of GCB, George Fuache, says it has signed an agreement with a private initiative, Invest in Africa, to further facilitate credit access to SMEs in Ghana.
GCB has committed a minimum of 1 billion Ghana cedis to the One District, One Factory initiative rolled out by the government. And as the biggest indigenous bank, the board, the management, and the staff found it necessary to commit that to it. The SME department has existed in various shapes and forms, but there is now a strategic intent to it to become the core of the bank. So it is a new journey. A journey that comes with a lot of experience, but obviously the partnership would bring to the fore the knowledge base that Invest in Africa has based on their experience with SMEs, and that partnership is what we believe will change the engagement with the SME space.
Okay, so Now, the Ghana Chamber of Mines has indicated it will push for government to grant more tax incentives to mining firms engaged in exploration activities in the country. Speaking in an interview with Joy Business, President of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Eric Esubontin, says the chamber will ask government to intervene to reduce excessive expenditure at the exploratory stage of the mining value chain.
Mining is a long-term game. It's not something you invest and turn around, and that's one of the things that at times some of our stakeholders don't appreciate fully. You start by pumping so much money into exploration. Until you invest enough in exploration, the pipeline of projects, you would miss it down the line. So you need to be investing in your exploration activities now, with the aim that about 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, there will be a pipeline of projects, so that as the current projects come to an end or current mines come to an end, there is another one in the pipeline that follows. So it's so important that we incentivize those exploration activities, and that's where the tax issue comes in. So like I was saying, to incentivize through fiscal means the exploration activities in the industry, because that is what secures the future of the industry. That is what provides the pipeline of operations of our mines into the future.
Now, numerous opportunities and affordable deals could be struck at the Joy Business, Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair, which formally opened at the Accra International Conference Center on Thursday. Now, Sandra Apenu sampled some of the items and services on offer and spoke with some exhibitors after the fair opened.
Hello and welcome to the Accra International Conference Center, where the Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair is currently ongoing. And as you can see, well, I'm already feeling like a bride. You should be here. And oh my, the prices are really good. From anything makeup to insurance, housing, you're sure to get it at the Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair. So let's go around and see what is up for grab at that discounted price. Come along. Okay, so what should people expect from you?
Expect mortgage products from JHL Bank. We are saying that if you are getting married and you want to purchase your house, come to JHL Bank, visit our stand. We can help you to own your home. And we're also saying that now we are a bank. We used to be Ghana Home Loans. We are now a bank. We have universal banking products. We have a savings products. We have student loans. We have we can give you personal loans as well.
I'm feeling like a bride right now. So something like this, how much will it cost me? And if I come to the fair, how much will I pay for it?
We're running a 20% promo on most selected items here. So in fact, when you do come in here, you will not regret. You by all means have something to take home with you.
Is it expensive to have a wedding photo? I mean, there are so different ways of doing it now. What are the types that you have?
Okay, we have the lay flat photo books, and then we have the side stage. This is a typical lay flat photo book. The advantage here is the images are able to lie flat on the page compared to the other ones that we have that has the groups in the. Yeah.
So how much will it cost me to have something like this?
That's going for 550.
550. So if I come to the fair, am I getting a discount on this?
So we are offering a whopping 30% discount if you book at the fair.
Who do we have here?
Yeah, I'm Joycelyn.
Okay. Joycelyn, what do you have?
Well, we have well-designed jewelry, rings. We have watches as well and handbags.
Okay. Are they expensive?
Well, they are very, very affordable. These are Swarovskis, but ours are really, really affordable.
So please, stick and stay and make your way to the Accra International Conference Center to be part of the Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair.
And away from the Bridal Fair, some players in the advertising industry are asking the finance minister to use the mid-year review to come up with policies to protect local firms in the sector. Speaking to Joy Business after the launch of the 20th anniversary, Chief Executive of Originate, an indigenous advertising, marketing and PR company, William Ansah, says government must do more by awarding local advertisers with contracts.
It's your chance and you have to stand tall. Believe in yourself.
According to some indigenous advertising firms, their businesses are facing stiff competition from foreign advertising and marketing companies, a situation they believe is shortchanging the country. As a result, they are pressing on government the need to enforce local content participation laws. The Origin 8 boss, William Ansah, says government must do more by awarding local advertisers with contracts.
You know, one economy is going down, businesses are going down. The businesses are going to also begin to cut down on their spending, and usually the marketing budget is what suffers. What we are looking at is that we don't want government to be saying that we want to support local businesses. We want government to be a doer, because if you have great local companies like this who can compete with the champions of the West coming in, and you are talking about local content, let it be actually local. And local content does not mean a company that has its branch in Ghana. That doesn't make it a local content. Get to the ground and see the local companies who need the support so that they can also become giants. If these local companies are being given all the big projects that the multinationals are running, we can also stand up to them. After all, Originate is managing most of the multinational companies in Ghana than any advertising company.
William Ansah spoke to Joy Business after the launch of his outfit's 20th anniversary here in Accra. In a keynote address, Minister for Business Development Ibrahim Mohammed Awal hinted government will launch the school entrepreneurship program this weekend in a bid to promote entrepreneurship in the country.
As a government, we want to create a climate that engenders entrepreneurship. We want the private sector to lead the agenda for growth in this country. That is why we are voting so much resources for young people to grow. Come Saturday, we are going to launch the school entrepreneurship program to help students to think entrepreneurial. We think that young people can really create and do business when they are given the encouragement. At the ministry, we voted $10 million to support young people. For the next 3 years, we are going to make it $100 million to to support young people brilliant ideas to set up businesses.
Dr. Awal has assured local advertisers and businesses at large to prioritize social networking to remain relevant on the highly competitive market. This Makausa's report for Joy Business.
And that's all by way of business tonight. Many thanks for your company. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. We are for the small news. Log on to our website www.myjoyonline.com. Have a good evening.
Chief Justice Sophia Akuffo is urging students across the country to choose their profession out of passion and not be attracted by material or other considerations. According to her, many people in Ghana find themselves in the wrong professions, contributing negatively to the development of society rather than helping develop society. Speaking to school pupils at Asen Kushia as part of a Central Region tour, the Chief Justice implores students across the country to be change makers by adding value to professions they are passionate about.
The Chief Justice Sophia Akuffo has ended her tour to the Central Region. She inspected some courts in the Central Region and assessed the state of the courts. Today, she's been spending some time with school pupils of Asen Kushia. She's been mentoring and encouraging them to choose their professions wisely. She wants them to choose professions that they are passionate about without any material consideration.
So, though you're still young, school pupils, you can begin to envision what you will be in the future. Some wanted to be train drivers. These days you see more on your horizon. Aspire to whatever you are able to do, just so that when you start doing it, you do it well. Don't become a doctor just because your friend is doing medicine, when really what is in you is art. And you can bring a lot of joy and creativity into the lives of other people by the work that you will be doing. So we must never laugh at our colleagues who want to do something which does not seem fancy to us. Some of the richest people, or some of the most expensive things you sometimes hear of on the media, is when a piece of artwork is being sold and somebody is bidding to buy it for $50 million, and a piece of artwork, because it is drawn by so and so. Become that so and so if you have art in you. I urge you to be guided by a higher purpose than mere profit or a paycheck. Commit to integrity. Ghana can and will become better and greater if we all commit to serve her with honesty, integrity, and imagination. Let us all dare to dream of a much better country, and let us commit to work ourselves towards it. Don't look at what the next person is doing. If they are folding their hands, don't join them in the arm folding. And I want each of you to apply your heart and minds always, daily, to the opening lines of our national hymn.
The Omahini of Orangeman traditional area, Nana Pra Ajinsem, has been entreating parents to spend some time on the education of their wards. He wants parents to avoid spending huge sums of money in the organization of funerals. He is urging parents to take inspiration from the life of the Chief Justice, who also schooled in a rural environment. But the parents gave her a lot of attention in her education, and that is why she is the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. From Asen Kushia, my name is Richard Kwejonyako for Joy News.
The 15th edition of the Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair officially opened on Thursday and is expected to run until Sunday, July 15. The opening ceremony featured the usual mock wedding, except this year's mock groom, Lexis Bill, appeared to be quite too eager to have his mock bride truly married to him. The officiating pastor was therefore compelled to make it clear the wedding was only for the show. Maxwell Agogba was there for Joy News.
The keyboardist who serenaded the guests at the opening ceremony set the tone by making sure there was enough romance in the air.
May we please rise?
Adako's rendition of Your Grace and Mercy took it up another notch.
Your grace and mercy is all I need. Your grace and mercy has brought me thus far.
The bridal party for the mock wedding arrived looking splendid, thanks to the sponsors of the event. The exchange of vows was officiated by Reverend Mike Ni Abose.
Do take thee, Mapizzo, Sechama to be. That qualification is very important. To be my unlawful wedded wife. Please, a special emphasis on unlawful wedded wife. To be my and take instructions. Wedded wife. To be my unlawful wedded wife.
The head of sales at Multimedia, Alfred Nazer, explained this year's fair has some new add-ons.
Use this opportunity to invite potential couples, to-be couples, singles to Accra International Conference Center between now and Sunday. Come around, you have everything that you need for your marriage.
Inside here, it's ready. I'll be speaking to the project lead for the 15th edition of the Joy, Beauty and Bridal Fair. He's standing very close to me, next to this beautiful flower arch that we have here with this crystal curtains that we have here.
Tomorrow, again, later in the evening, there's something we are doing spectacular, which is the happy hour. So from 7 o'clock.
Is it the first time the happy hour is going to happen?
Yes, this is the first time we are bringing this thing together. It's a whole experience we're putting together this year. So from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock, there will be kizomba, there will be kizalza, there will be a lot of things to drink, a lot of food to eat, a lot of music to dance to, a lot of people to connect to. So that will go into the night. On Saturday is a big day for everybody. Okay. We are looking
we have the marriage seminar
intertwined with the fashion show. This year we're not doing it separately. We are doing the two together. So you are seated comfortably, being treated to a very good marriage topics that will blow your mind.
The foyer of the Accra International Conference Center has been transformed into a one-stop shop. Catherine Gordons owns Catherine Garments and sells traditional clothes like Agbada. She talks about the excitement that comes with being part of the bridal fair and about the gradual shift from wedding gowns to traditional outfits incorporating kente.
We are getting people now to do the traditional outfits for their wedding. The ladies even wear the gown, and the guy will just wear a simple kaftan dress, and then they are good to go. Some wear the kente cloth, and they are fine. And we designers are very excited about that because it's creating jobs for us.
For the groom, he can wear his suit to the office, but what options are available for the bride? Another exhibitor from Akitisia Garment, Abna Dafo, says women can put their wedding gowns online for sale.
Well, some brides are not really concerned about what gowns they choose and after what they will use it for. So if you are someone who is really concerned about not keeping your dress after that, you need to choose a dress that you can use after the ceremony. We have so many dresses which are simple at the bottom that you can use for that. And also there are also many websites that you can resell your dresses.
For patrons, the Beauty and Bridal Fair eliminates completely the inconvenience that comes with moving from one shop to the other. It is that time of the year when all roads lead to the Accra International Conference Center. Reporting for Joy News, Maxwell Agbagba.
Up next, we bring you Showbiz.
Oh fast. African nights and a cool rush. And I remember you refused to kiss me, and now you're using my toothbrush. You say you think I talk too much, that I'm not your type and you don't like the hype.
You are welcome to A House of Suit Bridal. We located at Accra Youth Super Chapel first floor. So we have enough for you, especially as we are going to Joy Bridal Fair. We have a man-made gown, we have nice suit. If you can look at my back, we have 4-bottom suit. Very nice. People call it pastel suit, but it's not only pastel suit. You can wear it very sharp. We have so many for you, especially as we are going. You come to Bridal Fair, you will see what we have for you. 2018 new design, ladies designs, men designs, pairs, bouquets, and the other things. Come to Joy Bridal Fair. You come and see your house of suit.
African nights and a cool rush. And I remember you refused to kiss me, and now you're using my toothbrush. You say you think I talk too much.
Senior lawyer and a member of the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Council, Sam Okujoto, has questioned the power of the High Court to overturn the decision of the disciplinary committee suspending human rights lawyer Francis Javier Sosu. The human rights lawyer was handed a 3-year ban on June 1, 2017 for touting and personal advertisement on social media. The High Court, stating human rights abuses, overturned the sanction. Speaking on that front, Mr. Okujoto told Raymond Akwa that the High Court lacked jurisdiction on the matter.
Well, the courts, sometimes some of them don't understand. Because because the High Court purporting to be overturned the decision of the disciplinary committee, forgetting that on the disciplinary committee you had actually 3 Supreme Court judges. Now, what makes the High Court judge think that he understands the issues more than Supreme Court judges who are taking the decision?
But was it a legal procedure? If the person has a problem, go to the High Court.
No, it's not even High Court. It's the Court of Appeal supposed to be appealed to the High Court, the appeal court. But even when the appeal court was given that power, it was the final court of the land. So technically, the decisions can only be reversed by the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. Interesting.
So judges were assuming power which they don't have. You have to look at the people who are giving this. Exactly. Because you say we are taking this. Did you sit with us? Did you know the facts as they were? What are you reversing?
I say the human rights of the person.
What? The way you see the human rights now is being bombarded. I see lawyers who are stolen money, and then when they come before the disciplinary committee, then they rush to the High Court to say that human rights. And I ask them, whose human rights are you talking about? What is the person you cheated? He doesn't have. He's not a human. He doesn't have a human rights.
The case in contest had to do with one, advertising.
Yes.
Yes, and also be reported by a client of taking some amount of money, like 50,000 from the client.
Yes, of course. But you're not supposed to advertise. It's part of the rules. It's quite clear in the rules that you're not supposed to advertise. But here you go on the line, and then you go, you put your, you dress your wig and gown, and you say you are a human rights lawyer. You act pro bono. People who are pro bono will come to you. That is advertisement. Who made you a pro bono lawyer? And then if you say pro bono, where were you collecting money from the people? Pro bono means free. Pro bono is free.
So now I'm confused. But he's been let go. He's going to practice his law.
Well, he will still get himself into more trouble, don't worry.
It's interesting to know that. And maybe I have to, they say my time is almost
unless he changed his psychic.
About how, but he's seen as a human rights advocate.
He's not a human rights advocate.
Helping people.
He's touting to make money.
On Tuesday, President Akufo-Addo gave his account of the state of the Eastern Corridor Road. The road, which connects 5 of Ghana's 10 regions, is in a deplorable state, according to the president. It has been used as a campaign issue over the years, with former President John Mahama promising to complete the stretch. The 7-law project is from Temeranaba to Kulungungu. Now, here is President Mahama explaining why work had delayed on the road and contracts awarded. This was some time back when he was in office.
I took over office from Professor Mills. I promised that we will continue and finish the Eastern Corridor Road. And so we have various segments of it. It is from Lot 1 to Lot 7. Lot 7 ends at Kulungungu on the border between Upper East of Ghana and Togo and Burkina Faso. And Lot 1 starts from Temaran about to Asikuma Junction. And so we have a contractor working on Asikuma Junction to Have, and that job was awarded in Professor Mills' time. Unfortunately, the job was awarded on GOG budget, and you know how Government of Ghana budget operates, and that's why the work has been a bit slow. The next segment is from Have to Hohoi, which is the segment that Afajaso South is concerned with. We have just awarded that segment, but this time we've put it under the Cocoa Roads program. Wow. And so you're going to find that that work will go faster, because under the Cocoa Roads, as soon as payment certificates are raised, they are paid by Ghana Cocoa Board, and Ghana Cocoa Board has set aside the money for the roads that is constructing under the Cocoa Roads program. I want to assure you, Togwe, that NDC is committed to completing the Eastern Corridor Road.
When President Akufo-Addo traveled on the road as part of his 3-day tour of the Volta region, he was unimpressed.
The roads throughout our country are in a poor shape. In 2016, when we were on the campaign, I came here. I also went to the Western region, this famous Eastern Corridor. And I said that President Mahama was saying that the period of his office has seen infrastructural development that we have never seen in Ghana before. Unprecedented infrastructural development. I hope you remember this expression, unprecedented. And then I said, I don't see this unprecedented development. Everywhere I go, I'm on bad roads. He said I was asleep on the road, and that is why I didn't see the good development that had taken place. Today I've come on the Eastern Corridor Road, and I didn't sleep 1 inch. I couldn't sleep. How can I sleep on these roads? And that's why I want to go out to see for myself what is going on. We're going to fix it. And what God has told you is going to fix it. We are going to fix it. And it will not be for anybody to say whether somebody is asleep or not asleep. They will see that the road has been fixed. It will not be thought.
So this has generated some controversy on social media, especially after Jubilee House put out some photos of the road. Let's get to see some of the photos that were released and the comments that have come beneath it. Okay, so we actually have a video as well, and you're going to get to see that in a bit. It shows the deplorable section or a deplorable section of that road, and this video was put out by the presidency. So there you have it. The parts that the president describes as boom 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 is what you're seeing right now. So here you have the presidential convoy, and the president is on there. All right, so let's get to check out some of the comments that have come on the back of that. It's generated quite a number. So Larry Dogwe posted that President Akufo-Addo's photographer go ahead of him to VR and wait for these pictures. So he simply told the president to park in the mud while he climbs a tree and take a shot of only his car to depict the level of underdevelopment in the region. Maybe it's a one-car presidential convoy. Maybe the man is still in the campaign mood. Maybe pettiness has descended on the nation. Maybe the trauma is overworking my mind. Clearly, we saw the video as well. So the video showed a convoy. So it's possible that this vehicle was picked out of a number of them. Otherwise, you'd want to ask, did the photographer get out of the vehicle to film the convoy? Yes, I'm sure it's probably so. All right, so let's check out some of the comments here. It says Ernest Jabwa says must stop this pretense and deal with the issues he raised. Is this the so-called Eastern Corridor Road you told us about? And Gershon then comes in and says Muhammad didn't say he finished constructing the road. So if road is under construction, you stop it for 18 months. You expect the road to be in good condition without final finishing. And so here again we have some more images. And Samuel Poko Champon posted another image which shows the convoy this time. And Susie Peter, she says, President, please fix the road. We are begging you. JDM failed us, but you fulfill the promise. And Felix comes in and says, Nanado is a failed president. And it goes on and on and on. But and I'm sure the debate is going to continue on social media. In other news, a 10-year-old boy is nursing serious injuries after his stepfather threw him into a septic tank for allegedly snitching on him. Akwesi Desmond from Wanche in the Ashanti region is said to have warned his mother that the husband was armed with a knife to attack her. He is currently on admission at the Joaso Government Hospital with severe injuries on the neck and other parts and now needs further medical attention to avert an aggravation of his state of health. The suspect, Nicholas Boama, has also been arrested by police at Sefi in the Western region where he went into hiding. Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin reports.
Pana pacha sana mamichi nti ni wajano nti wajano na osisa nsuka kusia sio kwa kudalia na mpapa bai nti pana pacha na nigufu ni pie kwa tena na ano subati na sinti ure jalo na kufasi kanisha na taso nti mami ba offer from my fino nti sata na ano sinu madini sisi dem nti mami pie pu no watiasi na sinko urade.
10-year-old Akwesi informed the mother that the stepfather had in his possession a kitchen knife meant to stab her in the room. That perhaps didn't go down well with suspect Nicholas Boama. Few days after the boy revealed the stepfather's plans to the mother, the suspect asked the boy to come over to his house for money.
Mititime na simi kote sumene mekota ya mekonana na nuseti ya senti mekonana film semi mejiska mekoiska wasura mlene enti mekonana midru fie wanu mana nusuduru enti midru wanu na okuku Franco Guano, na simi huru enti huru na memo mano eni mani.
This is where Akwesi's stepfather threw him. The newly constructed septic tank is located meters away from the Wanchi town. Nobody knew where Akwesi was, and all attempts to trace his whereabouts proved futile. Akwesi spent the night in the 16-feet facility.
I am a mama papa. Ano, just kuno. Odini gumo, odini tumono, and odi tabo troso, and odi blocks me no gwetri. We see no.
A search team later found him.
Madam Fubako said, Yamumi Yanko Nico Nifia, when a bear or no coin, we bet me a keep Aqualano. And I made the menino, a coya, a coffre, Aqualano, a J.
This is Akwesi Desmond's mother, 27-year-old Benis Ousua. She says she and her husband have been having family disputes for some time. Benis has allegedly denied the husband his conjugal rights. Hence the misunderstanding.
Me babe man or pam ni free one more na chese or can't puni to a car puni to me. I fade the ordinance says, say, na cratch. As someone or can't ya grow wood the end of year and tell and what don't say, Sam on a cratch, we said, dear means mean to me.
We asked why she would deny a man she loves his rights. But Benis explained to the news team she cannot meet her husband's outrageous demands.
Yeah, coin. Only tweet the night to say the young bema, and I'm so before Kumasi by him. I did come, but they toss me no, but me meant to some answer. Tis still no pamacho, meant yasi, and turning into now be another cook. No, bomb now me to her man.
Akwesi has suffered multiple physical abuses from the stepfather. This is the Wanchi DA Primary School where he attends school. While his colleagues are here learning for the end of term exams, which begins on Monday, Akwesi is home nursing his injuries. Danso Abiam Douglas is class 3 teacher.
Since we are now in the examination week, it means through the academically it will affect him academically because his colleagues they are always here and they are learning. Are you getting my point? So academically it will affect him. We are starting the exams next week Monday.
Akwesi would have to wait a while to heal from his injuries before he returns to school. The medical bill, according to the family, is beyond what they can bear. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin for joining us.
Now, potholes can be considered the greatest nuisance on Ghana's road network. They have and continue to result in many accidents. But scientists are optimistic the problem will soon come to an end as the scientists at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Building and Road Research Institute have been able to coat aggregate with plastic waste, which they believe holds the answer. On Tech Thursday, Law Firm's Kwesi Debra has been speaking with the lead scientist, Dr. Ama Tagbo, of the Building and Road Research Institute.
All roads are constructed to avoid water accumulation. For example, a well-built street or highway has a slight crown in the middle which channels water to the sides. But water is very stubborn. It finds a way in and under pavement. Traffic wear and tear due to extreme heat and sunlight can result in cracks. Once there's an opening, water seeps into pavement. In warmer climates, cracks caused by heat wear away the surface, resulting in air gaps in the pavement. As vehicles pass over these gaps, the top layer sinks, collapses, and crumbles. A pothole is formed. Dr. Amatabo.
We are having a lot of rainfall these days. We are having a lot of sunshine these days. So because of that, the binding material, which is conventional bitumen, is not able to withstand all these changes. So elsewhere, not even only in Ghana, elsewhere they modified the bitumen to make it stronger and they make it more durable to be able to withstand all these conditions.
The Building and Road Research Institute, under its modification of bitumen for road construction initiative, decided to add value to waste plastic.
We have seen that there's a lot of challenge with the disposal of plastic waste. Plastic waste is either dumped in the landfill or it is washed into the sea or it is haphazardly littered around. Now this causes a lot of problem for us. If it's littered around, what you see is that people just collect it and burn it, and it releases a lot of toxic gas into the environment. So as researchers and being in the construction industry, we thought that using this in the construction industry, using the waste plastic in the construction industry, we will be adding value to waste plastics and we will be turning waste into a resource.
The scientists therefore use two types of waste plastic, HDPE and PET, to coat the aggregates.
So when we get this, we melt the plastic. We don't burn it, because if you burn it, it's going to release toxic gases into the atmosphere. So we melt it, and when we melt it, we coat aggregates with it. And after coating aggregates with it, we mix it with bitumen and we use it in the construction of road. But currently, we are still working on the coating. We have tried several percentages. We have tried 5%, we have tried 8%, we have tried 10%. And we realized that the 5% coats very well. This is followed by the 10% and then the 15%.
The initial laboratory test found the plastic-coated aggregates outperformed the conventional aggregates.
In the area of binding property, in the area of other properties, they do far, far better than the conventional aggregates.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Debra.
And in the airlines, President Akufo-Addo promises special honors for eminent statesman JH Mensah, who died Thursday morning at the 37 Military Hospital a few months to his 90th birthday. Members of Parliament have also been eulogizing the departed statesman. With the office of the Special Prosecutor now fully established with the inauguration of its governing board, Martin Amidu says what's needed now is funding. The President has assured the OSP will receive its budgetary allocation. Government has dropped hints prosecution of former GFA President Kwesi Nyantakyi may begin soon. In business, GCB Bank to release 1 billion cedis to support government's One District, One Factory initiative. My name is Israel. You have a good night.
This is Joy News Prime.